I'm Bryson DeChambeau, and I am the golfing scientist.
Bryson DeChambeau, known for his unique style and incredible power.
And I am the golfing scientist.
Now, this is what makes him the most interesting player in the game today.
And doesn't mean we all can't make the game of golf better for everyone in the world.
And that's the tough part, is getting people to see who I truly am compared to what the tour represents or puts me out to be as.
Although his unconventional approach to golf has sparked a fair share of criticism, he has chosen to rise above it. His remarkable resilience in the face of adversity truly showcases his determination to succeed and stay true to himself. Before he became known as the mad scientist of golf, Bryson DeChambeau was an inquisitive kid from Modesto, California. His unique way of playing golf, which involved spending most of his time engaged in physics texts, was a stark contrast to his competitors' more conventional methods. This unique approach has continued to intrigue the golfing world. DeChambeau's success in his amateur career, including winning the NCAA Individual Championship and the U.S. Amateur Tournament in 2015, was a testament to his talent. However, his unique playing style, while not initially liked by many, has certainly left an impression on the golfing community. Bryson's technical approach was not the only thing that made him stand out. It was also his unshakable faith in his ways. He had developed his single plane swing through rigorous study of the golf machine. He didn't simply play golf, he treated it as a scientist would do an experiment. Factors such as air density, ball speed, and spin rate were considered while calculating each shot. He even named his clubs after numbers instead of using conventional names, and he would float his golf balls in Epsom salt to see whether they were precisely balanced. Bryson knew he was onto something exceptional, even if some thought he was insane. When he switched to professional golf in 2016, the golf community was curious and doubtful about his decision. There was a player who wore a Ben Hogan-style hat, played with clubs of the same length, and spoke about physics while everyone else was talking about feel and tradition. However, DeChambeau did not only survive, he flourished. In 2017, he won his first PGA Tour tournament at the John Deere Classic, demonstrating that his scientific method could provide tangible results. The true transformation that would draw both appreciation and criticism came during the COVID-19 shutdown in 2020. DeChambeau saw an opportunity, while others saw a respite from golf. He drastically changed his physique, adding 40 pounds of muscle by working out intensely and following a diet that consisted of 6 to 7 protein drinks every day. Upon his return to golf, his persona transformed from Bryson, the scientist, to the incredible bulk. His change extended past his physical appearance into his mental state as well. DeChambeau dedicated extensive time to working with mental performance coaches who helped him create approaches to manage competition pressure alongside public criticism of his unique strategies. DeChambeau studied meditation and breathing methods, which he integrated into his pre-shot preparation. His extensive approach to personal growth separated him from other golfers because they directed their efforts exclusively toward classic swing technique practice. This new version of DeChambeau was hitting drives that seemed to go beyond the laws of physics. His average driving distance improved to 322 yards, leading the PGA Tour. The golf world has never experienced anything like it before. His power game suddenly made traditional golf courses seem outdated. He was not just winning, he was also altering the way the game might be played. The 2020 US Open at Winged Foot, one of the most challenging golf courses in the world, was where he achieved his greatest accomplishment. DeChambeau had a more aggressive approach than others, hitting long drives and muscling shots out of thick rough as others sought to traverse the small fairways delicately. But what was the outcome of this? He won his first major title by a handsome margin of 6 shots. It was a confirmation of his efforts and what he stood for. However, success brought with it criticism. He was criticized for his slow pace of play. Other players were not happy with the way he played, which included his meticulous approach, continual calculations, and long pre-shot preparations. The golf media started to depict him as the tour's villain, a person who did not respect the game's traditions. Every interview, every social media post, and every little pause during a shoot became a target for criticism. After that, the Brooks-Koepka dispute began. A few mild insults eventually escalated into a full-blown feud that took over the golf news. Koepka was the classic feel-based golfer, while DeChambeau was the contemporary scientist of the sport. Their confrontation came to represent the conflict between the traditionalists and the modernists in golf. The hostility reached its highest point when fans started to heckle DeChambeau during events, dubbing him Brooksy. This insult finally led to the PGA Tour changing its policy regarding support supporter behavior. The pressure kept increasing. Every tournament turned into a battleground, not only against the course, but also against the audience's opinions. After DeChambeau made remarks about his driver sucking after a disappointing performance at the Open Championship, the criticism reached a new level. Cobra, the company that sponsors his equipment, openly reacted by comparing him to an 8-year-old kid. The golf community seemed to take pleasure in his difficulties, anticipating the failure of the mad scientist's efforts. Then came the most controversial decision of all, joining LIV Golf. The criticism reached a peak when DeChambeau joined the Saudi-backed tour for a rumored $125 million. He was called a sellout and a traitor to the PGA Tour. However, Bryson had a different perspective. He had the financial comfort to keep playing with his game and saw a chance to continue pushing limits in a new context. He lost relationships, connections, and his position in numerous customary events as a result of the choice. Critics said that he was sacrificing his legacy in exchange for money. However, DeChambeau continued to hold firm to his beliefs throughout the whole situation. He discussed utilizing the 54 money to construct a multi-sport center for youngsters, generating new possibilities in golf, and continuing to innovate in ways that the regular circuit would not permit. However, his comments about Saudi Arabia made things worse. DeChambeau addressed relatives of 9/11 victims who criticized LIV Golf Saudi Arabia's support by urging them to forgive Saudi Arabian faults, while acknowledging that nobody's perfect. His statements about Saudi Arabia led to immediate outrage from people who believed he lacked compassion toward families of victims who were still suffering through their loss. The damage to his reputation became irreversible as the controversy deepened despite the explanations he was putting out. The media storm that came after was unlike anything that had happened before. His words were discussed by golf broadcasters, social media, and sports experts. It wasn't only about money when he left the PGA Tour, it was also about having more freedom, the ability to be different, to try new things, and to test limits without being criticized all the time. The same characteristics that contributed to his success also made him a target, and LIV Golf provided him with a chance to start again. Some people supported his freedom to make decisions about his career, while others saw it as yet another reason to hit on him. DeChambeau took a break from social media because the pressure got so severe. He decided to concentrate on his game and let his golf skills speak for themselves. In a shocking turn of events, DeChambeau and his former opponent Brooks Koepka made amends and even played together at the PGA Championship in May. This proved that DeChambeau is capable of development and reconciliation. This moment of togetherness showed that even the most intense rivalry in golf can be healed with time and maturity. It also revealed a more mature side of DeChambeau that many people had not seen before. This reconciliation had a significant effect on the world of golf. Fans who had chosen sides in the DeChambeau-Koepka dispute began to rethink their stances. The media, which had before stoked the flames of the rivalry, now appreciated both players for their maturity. It was a strong reminder that relationships can mend and grow both in golf and in life. The ongoing dispute and criticism had a negative impact on DeChambeau. His game was affected, and he struggled to get back on track. The strain of becoming golf's lightning rod, together with the physical demands of his power game, posed problems that he had never encountered before. However, DeChambeau's genuine nature was shown in the face of hardship. He did not back down. Instead, he stood firm in his beliefs. He kept coming up with new ideas, trying new things, and testing limits. His commitment seems to be strengthened by the criticism that he faced. He revealed a side of himself that many people had never seen before when he talked candidly about the mental health issues that come with being under the spotlight all the time. His journey had an effect that went beyond his own career. Young players started learning about physics and biomechanics to incorporate scientific elements into their training. Companies that manufacture equipment began to create new technologies based on his observations. Even those who were critical of him could not dispute that he had shifted the discourse about what was possible in golf. Bryson DeChambeau is now finding his rhythm in LIV Golf, where he is free from the relentless scrutiny of the conventional circuit. He has been coming up with new ideas and looking into other ways to practice and new designs for equipment that might change the game once again. He is no longer focused on defending his techniques. Instead, he is focused on improving them. He is also no longer trying to prove his detractors wrong. Instead, he is focused on proving himself right. He has been increasingly engaged in developing the game at the grassroots level, utilizing his position to inspire new players to think outside the box, challenge conventions, and follow their own paths. The crazy scientist has taken on the role of a mentor, passing on his expertise to a new generation of golfers who are not afraid to be unique. His connection to the world of golf has changed as well. A few of the people who used to criticize him have started to recognize his devotion to innovation and his ability to bounce back from difficult situations. He has shown that being different is not only about being controversial, it is about having the bravery to follow your ideas, no matter what other people may think. DeChambeau continues to expand the limits of what can be done in golf, even with the hurdles and criticisms he faces. He has grown more careful in his public comments and more considerate in his approach to controversy, but he remains just as dedicated to his goal of changing the game via science and invention. Bryson DeChambeau's story is not just about golf, it's about having the bravery to be unique when everyone expects you to follow the norms. Despite all the criticism and problems he has faced, he has stayed faithful to his scientific approach, his inventive spirit, and his conviction that there is always a better way to do things. He is not just playing golf, he is changing the game, one carefully considered stroke at a time. I hope you liked the story about Bryson DeChambeau. To keep the excitement going, subscribe for more thrilling tales. Are you rooting for Team Bryson, or do you favor the classic golf approach? Share your thoughts in the comments below.